Hey guys, it is MattySports bringing my Week 9 predictions of the 2015 college football season. Last week in Week 8, I went 7-3, but not after some very close games and some upsets. First, UCLA upset California on Thursday night, so California is now out of the top 25. Clemson slaughtered Miami, which ended up costing Al Golden his job as he got fired soon after. Alabama barely took care of Tennessee. Tennessee played really well, though, much like they have a bunch of games this year, but as usual, they had not been able to finish. Oklahoma destroyed Texas Tech. LSU beat Western Kentucky. Ole Miss slight upset over Texas A&M at home. And the big game, Georgia Tech upsetting Florida State at home. The game hit me hard. I was watching it. I figured Roberto Aguayo, he's never missed a field goal in the fourth quarter. But I guess the kick was low enough and the line didn't really do a good job blocking. Georgia Tech got their hands up, blocked it, was still on Georgia Tech's side. Now, personally, when I saw it happening, I thought it was a dead ball, but I guess the rule changed to where that's not a dead ball anymore, even if it goes on the defensive side. So they returned it about 78 yards. So congratulations to Georgia Tech. Florida State's 28-game ACC record winning streak has been snapped. They're only one away of tying the ACC record, which was previously held by Florida State. So it's unfortunate. Most likely Florida State's out of the college football playoff now, unless a bunch of teams lose ahead of them and they win out. But even if they win out, even though they'll have quality games against Clemson and Florida in the ACC championship game left on their schedule, I do not think it'll be enough. So they could still possibly win the ACC, but that's about it. But I'm done talking about that. This isn't about Florida State. It's about college football. Next, Stanford beat Washington. My upset special, Washington State beat Arizona by a field goal. So another win for Washington State. They've definitely been a surprising team this year, and they were able to get me a win. And James Madison lost to Richmond. I just had to look up the score of who won because I didn't see it in the news. But I guess Richmond won, so congratulations to the Spiders. But now we're on to Week 9. And you know what today is? Today's Thursday. So this video is going up, and for a first time on MattySports, I am picking 3 games on a Thursday night. That kind of shows how much of a variety there is this week. Much like last week, there's not too many great games, but if last week was something to say, there will probably be a crazy ending. But first, we have a very, 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 very important ACC Coastal matchup, one that I'm looking forward to, and that is North Carolina at number 23 Pittsburgh. Personally, I think North Carolina should also be in the top 25. I think they are a fantastic team. Turnovers just cost them the opening game when they lost to South Carolina, and that is a very bad loss, but North Carolina is a great team. Pittsburgh, they're a great team also. Their only loss came on a last-second field goal to undefeated Iowa, and Iowa's looking to go undefeated this year, so Pittsburgh has a great loss. Both these teams, I think, are really good and are definitely couple of the front runners in the ACC Coastal, but I like North Carolina on the road to go into Pittsburgh and take this game. Next, we have a Big 12 matchup once again on Thursday nights of West Virginia at number 5 TCU. This game the past few years has been a really great game. Honestly, should probably form a rivalry because the past few games have gone combined 3 overtimes and a combined score of less than 10 points for all 3 games, so it's been a very good game past few years. West Virginia isn't as good this year, and TCU is starting to pick up its stride and starting to be more consistent, so I like TCU at home. Next, we have a Pac-12 matchup that looked to be pretty good in the preseason, but now has not turned out that way, and that is Oregon at Arizona State. Both these teams do not have the seasons they expect, especially Oregon. Still not used to seeing them outside the top 25. Arizona State's at home. I'll take the Sun Devils to get the Pac-12 South a win over the Pac-12 North. Next, we have a Big Ten matchup of Illinois at Penn State. Both these teams are average. It kind of shows you how little was to pick. I was going to do Ole Miss and Auburn, but I decided to stay away from the SEC because I sort of picked those games a lot. So I thought I'd show the Big Ten some love, and I'll show some love to the Nittany Lions as I will pick them to win this game. Next, we have a rivalry game. Not just any rivalry game, but the world's largest cocktail party in Jacksonville, Florida, of Georgia versus number 11 Florida. At first, I was going to pick Georgia to win this because I was sort of feeling them, but I thought about it, I'm like, Georgia, they're not really that good this year. In Florida, they almost beat LSU at LSU, even without their starting quarterback. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to discredit Trayon Harris. I still think he's good, but I think Will Greer is still a lot better. So Florida, their defense is amazing. They are astonishing. And Florida, I still think they're the favorites to win the SEC East. If they basically win this game, Florida basically clinches the SEC East. So it's a very important game for both teams, but I think Florida will get the job done. Next, we have an ACC Coastal matchup of Miami, Florida at number 22 Duke. Miami got slaughtered, lost their coach, basically no momentum going for them. And Duke, they still only have one loss to a very decent Northwestern team. Duke's at home. Duke, alongside with North Carolina and Pittsburgh, are the three teams that are sort of fighting for the ACC Coastal. And I'll take the Blue Devils at home to still stay in the hunt. Next, we have the battle for the Little Brown Jug, one of the oldest rivalry games in college football. Doesn't get the respect. Pretty one-sided in Michigan's favor, but Minnesota has won the last meeting. And it is number 15 Michigan at Minnesota. Minnesota's an okay team this year. They're not as good as they were last year, but they have the jug. They do own it, but Michigan, they've definitely improved. The fumbled punt at the end of the Michigan State game really sort of cost them their college football playoff hopes. But I think Michigan's defense is still really good. I think it could be a close one at Minnesota, but I will take the Wolverines to win. Next, we have a Pac-12 matchup of number 8 Stanford at Washington State. Washington State coming off a win against Arizona. Don't look now, but they only have 2 losses, and I think they only have 1 loss in the Pac-12. So they are still in it for the Pac-12 North, and if they could beat Stanford, they have Stanford at home. Could Wazoo do it? It would be a very big upset. But I think Stanford's just really good. I still don't see how they lost their first game of the year to Northwestern. Still sort of blows my mind, but I think Stanford should win this game. Next, we have the upset special, and so far I've only missed 2 upset specials, bringing my record to 6-2, I believe. And that is number 12 Oklahoma State at Texas Tech. This game's looking to be high scoring. The Red Raiders have Oklahoma State at home. 2008, Texas Tech had a great game with Oklahoma State in which they won, so I will take the Red Raiders to win. And lastly, we have the game of the week where College Game Day will be going to, and it is the only top 25 matchup of this week. And if you were looking at the preseason, you probably would not have thought that this would be the only top 25 matchup for this week, and it is pretty surprising. And it is number 9 Notre Dame at number 21 Temple. Yes, you heard me right. Temple. Temple is undefeated in the American Conference, their first 7-0 start in school history, so they're having a great year. Notre Dame's only loss is still to that failed 2-point conversion at Clemson. And Temple, the Owls, I will take them to win. I will take them as the underdog to upset Notre Dame. If they win this, I think there should be no reason why they should not be in the college football playoff. If they can stand defeated, having a quality win against Notre Dame, and eventually if they could possibly beat Houston and Memphis, those are 2 more quality wins. So I'll take Temple at home and continue their astounding season. But anyway, guys, this has been it for this week's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below of the games I missed or of the games that I covered. Let me know what you guys think. This has been MattySports, and I'll see you guys next week for Week 10.